And joining us now is Jamil Jaffer. He is the founder and executive director of the National Security Institute. Thanks so much for being with us. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So was this group text a violation of the Espionage Act?
Well, look, it doesn't seem so, because in order to violate the Espionage Act, you have to have intent. And clearly, they did not mean to intend, they did not intend to have Jeffrey Goldberg be part of this conversation. So the disclosure, while problematic, it was apparently inadvertent. Now, there may be some rules or even a law around mishandling classified information. That's a different matter. But as far as a violation of the Espionage Act, probably not likely.
Okay, some people who would be calling for an investigation, launching an investigation, are actually on this thread. These are the highest ranking officials. Hillary Clinton was investigated for years for using a personal server. Take a listen to what Secretary of State Marco Rubio had to say back in 2016 about her email scandal.
It is irresponsible for an elected official in her capacity to be discussing highly sensitive things on a format that she had to have known was not fully secured. The risk of that is that we're giving opponents of this government or adversaries some insight into our thinking, into our decision making, and it provides them most certainly an advantage in the national security realm.
So what do you make of that? Will there be an investigation in your view, and what will be the consequences, if any?
Well, two things. They said there's going to be an investigation. It's going to have to happen on Capitol Hill. Obviously, you've got a group of senior administration officials. Unlikely they're going to investigate one another unless the president directs it. So he may ultimately decide to fire people or investigate people if he sees it in his interest to do so. If he sees the pressure building either in the public or on Capitol Hill. The president may do that. As of right now, it looks like he's consolidating his team. He's shown, he's defended. One saying, I don't even know what's going on. That seems highly unlikely. He knew about the Atlantic, and so it seems likely he knew what was going on, but had decided not to take action, at least as of now. But look, if there's going to be an investigation, it's going to happen on Capitol Hill. It's going to happen in the public domain. So we'll see what happens. But as of right now, look, this is not surprising in some sense. People oftentimes in national security circles where there are ongoing events will sort of try to get on the phone and talk around classified information. That's obviously problematic. It's not the right way to do things. In this case, they tried to use a encrypted messaging app, probably not the right approach, but it also probably demonstrates that, the government is not good at allowing, people in this era of real world communication to communicate stuff they need to in a time of crisis. So we're gonna have to solve that problem in the long run as well. Obviously what happened here, not the right thing.
Signal, you're talking about this, is encrypted, right? A lot of people apparently mistakenly trust this. Are Russia and China and other state actors monitoring these communications?
Well, they're certainly trying to. And when you know that these kind of communications are going on, you can dedicate a lot of effort to focus in on those systems, those devices, try to break the encryption. End-to-end encryption is hard to break. It's why it's so important for Americans' communications to be end-to-end encrypted. At the same time, there's no doubt that the government, it's now become clear the government's using Signal, and so the Russians and Chinese will focus on it. Whether the government goes off of using it and uses something else, that's probably what they're going to have to do. Look, the foreign adversaries have been in our classified and unclassified systems in the past. That's a problem. They're going to target this source as well. We'll see what happens going forward.
Okay, National Security spokesperson Brian Hughes said in a statement yesterday, quote, "The thread is a demonstration of the deep and thoughtful policy coordination between senior officials." What do you think? Was this what you would be advising?
I'm not sure that's the best defense of what's going on here. There was obviously a debate. It was interesting to watch J.D. Vance come in and say, well, maybe we shouldn't do this right now. You see other administration officials hopping in saying, well, I think we should go now, but maybe J.D.'s right. And so you see a back and forth. There is something of a debate ended largely by Steve Miller coming and saying, look, the president has decided we're doing this. But it is interesting to watch, sort of the dynamics inside the most senior part of the Trump team as people try to figure out, is J.D. going to win this one? Is the president? Has the president already decided, who's going to get it right? And they're all sort of playing a little bit of footsie here. So I think that's the more interesting part than the sort of like robust policy debates taking place. To the extent you have robust policy debates, probably best to do it in a skiff in the Situation Room rather than on Signals people are running around the globe.
Good point. It was interesting to hear him talk about the economy and the timing of the strike, et cetera. Thank you so much for joining us, Jamil Jaffer. Always great to see you.
Thanks for having me on.